Hey guys, Verbluncher95, recording live from the local county prison cell. Okay, a couple quick things out of the way. So Death Battle Live just recently happened, and they announced that the next Death Battle is going to be a 3D fight. The one after Knuckles Donkey Kong is going to be a 3D fight. Cool. But know that after Knuckles Donkey Kong, I might not be able to get to it in time. I might be doing something Wednesday, and it just... That's my ringtone. Alright. Anyway, depending on what happens, I may or may not be able to... If it comes out early Wednesday, then I'll get to it, but, yeah. But anyway, another little bit of maybe pressing news is, the latest 1 Minute Melee, which came out today, Scorpion Ghost Rider, spoilers by the way, not that it's happening, but for who's winning, because to explain my point I have to say who won. So again, spoilers. So anyway, Scorpion is holding Ken down on the ground, and he's like, you know, you and your friend have both failed to defeat me, and then Ghost Rider comes in and blah blah blah. And then afterwards, Ken is like in a fighting position, and Ghost Rider says, your time has not yet come, fighter, and you know, and that makes me think, possibly, I may be reading too deep into this, but because he said you and your friend have both failed, that 1 Minute Melee is supposed to be within the same, like, canonical universe that sort of doesn't exist as Death Battle. Now that doesn't, I'm not saying that means that if someone fights in a 1 Minute Melee, then they're completely separate people working on it that have nothing to do with each other. Well, I mean, the animators have to do with it, but it doesn't have anything to do with who's fighting or who wins, doesn't have anything to do with it. It's you know, it's just, you know, if that were the case, Akuma would have lost both times. They just, yeah, it's just based on whatever the fuck they want it to be. It doesn't, just because somebody wins in Melee doesn't mean somebody's gonna win in Death Battle. Just because a fight happens in Melee doesn't mean it's not, or it is gonna happen in Death Battle. But anyway, I'm thinking, because Ghost Rider said that either 1 Minute Melee or Death Battle are planning to, at some point in the near future, have a fight with Ken Masters in it. If it's Death Battle, I'd like it to be Terry Bogard, personally. If it's 1 Minute Melee, they'll throw whoever the fuck they want in. Point is, watch out for that. Now, the fight I'm going to do today, just because I wanted you guys to hear that early, the part I just finished, is a very high-profile one, or at least for me, I think. And I wanted to get to it for a while, but I never really found the situation to do it, but I wanted to make this important, so I thought, why not? Ganondorf versus Sephiroth. Okay, let's do this. So, I mean, I'm gonna miss a lot of this, because the Final Fantasy and Legends of Zelda timelines and you know, power scaling is so off the fucking charts that I can't really get an accurate representation of these guys. But, I'm just gonna go into the fight and then bring up what I have to bring up, during it. That way, not only do I avoid, getting facts wrong, during analysis, but I also get to save time. So anyway. Ganondorf and Sephiroth. Okay. Now, I could see how this fight would make sense just from a theme perspective, the same way Cloud Link would make sense, but not because Cloud and Link fought, but because, you know, yeah, these guys are both, you know, the respective unbeatable, in a sense, enemies of their franchise that are only capable of being killed, or they're destined to be killed by their respective heroes. Now, before somebody says, before somebody says, Ganondorf can't be killed, because Link is destined to kill him. No. Link is destined to kill him. That doesn't mean Ganondorf can't die. That just means that whatever incarnation of Link was born at that time will kill him. Will kill that incarnation of Ganondorf. It doesn't necessarily mean he can't die, because don't forget, you know, people have come back to life in Legends of Zelda. Sort of what keeps the franchise going. But other than that, I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that he could just come back. Yeah, so there's infinite ways that you could just, you know, say, well, whatever. So Ganondorf isn't immortal until Link kills him, and before somebody says only Cloud is strong enough to beat Sephiroth, that's not necessarily true either, because Sephiroth has been holding back. Every time Cloud by himself fought Sephiroth, Sephiroth held back. Every time Sephiroth didn't hold back, Cloud had help. Especially in the form of safer Sephiroth. So you can't. So it's not that Cloud's the only one strong enough to beat Sephiroth. Because if somebody says that, then people are going to start calling BS on the Link Cloud thing, and we don't want to open something like that up. So looking at this, how do you scale these two? Because Ganondorf is supposed to have, quote-unquote, unlimited power, like magic, unlimited amounts of magic, to the point where his actual magic itself rivals God's. And his strength, in, you know, durability, and all that, all of those things are supposed to be, again, almost God level as well. But here's the thing, how do I scale that? Almost God level. Well, that's pretty much every villain in Final Fantasy. So yeah. And before somebody says, Sephiroth is not an all-knowing deity, he has the power of a deity, but he's not literally a god. He is not all-seeing, he's not Q, okay? He's a soldier that got, you know, experimentation on it, and then he got super powerful, which seems to be like everyone's backstory in Final Fantasy, by the way. Or at least in that time period. Vincent and Cloud have that same exact thing. Oh, Cloud wasn't a soldier. Yeah, never mind. Shit. So, who do I think is gonna win this chicken with time? Sorry. Well, there's always the argument that Sephiroth could just destroy the Earth. That seems to be the Hulk Broly argument every time I bring that up to somebody. Is that, oh, well, one guy could just destroy the Earth, and then the other guy would die in space. So that's something that I guess that is a possibility for Sephiroth Ganondorf. Then again, I don't know if Ganondorf needs food, water, or air to survive, so I'm pretty sure I heard something about him not needing that. And also, let's point this out right now, neither of these two are invincible. We have seen Ganondorf hurt before by other people. You know, like, for instance, light arrows are a big weakness to him, but Zelda can do light arrows. So that means Zelda can hurt him. So that means he's capable of being hurt, and if he can be hurt, he can presumably be killed as well. It's just that Link is destined to kill him. And again, we've seen Sephiroth hurt by people who aren't Cloud. Because again, in safer Sephiroth, when he's not holding back, Cloud needs help, and his allies do help. And they do damage, meaning that Sephiroth, like Ganondorf, is capable of being hurt by others that aren't Cloud. So, presumably, he could also be killed by others that aren't Cloud. It's just that his is more of like a power reasoning. It's because he's so powerful that he's only ever given Cloud a fighting chance. And that's just because he's obsessing over him. So these two would be able to hurt each other, and presumably, could kill each other, or at least, in theory, are capable of killing each other. So with that being said, I mean, Ganondorf is almost indestructible. He's all but indestructible, to be honest with you. Where light-based magic is really the only shot you have, but raw power has had a minimal effect on him. And Sephiroth doesn't really have any. His durability is, I mean, Cloud hit him a couple of times in Advent Children, and that made him disappear into feathers. So that's something. So Sephiroth's durability is sort of in question. I mean, when you look at all of the moves and everything Sephiroth could do, Sephiroth's gonna take this. I mean, Ganondorf is all but indestructible, but if something that isn't light-based magic can damage Ganondorf in some way, Sephiroth can kill him. Just because he's that. I mean, he destroyed. I mean, people talk about with Supernova how he destroyed the entire solar system. Misconception: he only destroyed Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto? Pluto's a very small planet, and Saturn and Jupiter are gas-based planets, meaning a meteor would just sort of go right through them. So, yeah. But still, he exploded the sun, so that's one thing. He can slice the sky in half. The guy's just got too much power that unless Ganondorf is completely immune to anything that isn't light-based magic, which he's not, because we've seen him hurt by his own dark magic before, then Sephiroth can kill him. Just in terms of overpowering him. So, this is a classic shield versus sword thing, like a shield that can't be broken versus a sword that breaks through anything. But in this case, there's one little weak spot on that shield, and the sword's gonna wreck it. So, yeah. And that sword's name is Masamune, so whatever. Still, this would be a badass fight, but Sephiroth is just gonna wreck all sorts of everything. And unfortunately, that means Ganondorf isn't gonna hold up. But anyway, yeah, this is Verblenja 95. See ya.